Hi, good afternoon. My name is Father Rayappa. I'm from a village called Ekattupadi near Vellore, South India. Today, I'm going to talk about Masanobu Fukuoka, that is, an agricultural scientist from Japan. He wrote many books and he is considered to be the father of natural farming. His books were translated into 25 languages, and he is the father of modern natural farming or do nothing farming. You'll be surprised. I'm going to talk about him and also I'm going to read 2 to 3 quotes about Masanobu Fukuoka. The quotes, what he wrote. So, Masanobu Fukuoka, born in 1913 and he died 2008. He was a Japanese farmer and philosopher celebrated for his natural farming and the revegetation of desertified lands. He was a proponent of no tilling, no herbicide, grain cultivation farming methods traditional to many indigenous cultures, from which he created a particular method of farming, commonly referred to as natural farming or do nothing farming. Fukuoka was the author of several Japanese books, scientific papers, and other publications, and was featured in television documentaries and interviews from the 1970s onwards. His influences went beyond farming to inspire individuals within the natural food and lifestyle movements. He was an outspoken advocate of the value of observing nature's principles. Fukuoka called his agricultural philosophy Shizen no Ho, that is Japanese. Shizen no Ho, most commonly translated into English as natural farming. It is also referred to as the Fukuoka method, the natural way of farming or do nothing farming. The system is based on the recognition of the complexity of living organisms that shape an ecosystem and deliberately exploiting it. Fukuoka saw farming not just as a means of producing food, but as an aesthetic and spiritual approach to life. The ultimate goal of which was the cultivation and perfection of human beings. He proposed 5 principles of natural farming. They are: number one, human cultivation of soil, plowing or tilling are unnecessary, as is the use of powered machines. Don't till the land. It's a shock for Indians. We always till the land with plow and tractor before seeding or before planting paddy. But Fukuoka says no cultivation, no plowing of land, no tilling, no tractors. The second principle is prepared fertilizers are unnecessary, as is the process of preparing compost. You don't have to apply any fertilizer. Not even compost, naturally organic. Don't make a manure and go and give to the land. Nothing. What a shock, huh? No fertilizer, no natural compost. The third principle is weeding, either by cultivation or by herbicides. It's unnecessary. Instead, only minimal weed suppression with minimal disturbance. Oh my God. Don't weed. Don't take any weeds. And don't apply any herbicide. It's all unnecessary, he says. The fourth one is application of pesticides or herbicide or unnecessary. Don't spray anything. Don't try to kill any insects because insects are the pollinators and microorganisms, they grow food, they grow plants, and insects pollinate. and the weeds, they fix nitrogen from the atmosphere. So I think it all makes sense. The last fifth point is pruning of fruit trees is unnecessary. So don't prune any fruit trees. Don't prune mango trees. Don't prune even grapes. Don't prune saprodilla. Don't prune oranges. No pruning is necessary. Just leave them. So you understood? It's all against our conventional farming. It looks like unconventional to me. But conventional farming always we use all these five principles, but he says all these five principles is not at all necessary. So now I'm going to read some of the beautiful quotes from Masanobu Fukuoka. He says the following um, quote that look at the animals. They do only three things. They eat, they reproduce, they adapt. So why humans go to school and go to work? And why we worry about so much building houses, building factories, building churches and temples? The other creatures, they don't do that. Instead of that, they eat, they have sex, and they sleep, and they adapt. What a life, what a life. Actually, humans are made to enjoy life. Some 10,000 years back, somebody has really corrupted our notion of life. Now we don't live at all. Animals do living, but we people, we work. We think we work, we are busy. No, you don't have to be busy at all. You are always having a good time. That is why God created us, only to do three things: eat, have sex, sleep, and adapt. I mean, is it too much to ask? I mean, all life does that except only the dysfunctional humanity does the opposite. So here is the quote. I want to read Masanobu Fukuoka quote. Masanobu writes as follows, I quote, I do not particularly like the word work. Human beings are the only animals who have to work. And I think that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Other animals make their livings by living. But people work like crazy, thinking that they have to in order to stay alive. The bigger the job, the greater the challenge, the more wonderful they think it is. It would be good to give up that way of thinking and live an easy, comfortable life with plenty of free time. I think that the way animals live in the tropics, stepping outside in the morning and evening to see if there is something to eat, and taking a long nap in the afternoon, must be a wonderful life for human beings. A life of such simplicity would be possible if one worked to produce directly its daily necessities. In such a life, work is not work as possible generally, think of it, but simply doing what needs to be done. And he continues to say that people should own some land. His equation is quarter acre of land for one person. So for two persons, half an acre. For three persons, three quarter an acre. And for four persons, 1 acre. For five persons, 1.25. Okay? So everybody should have a land and everybody should learn cultivating. And then you cultivate and you just produce what you need and you go and sleep. You go and have sex. You go and whatever you want, leisure. You don't have to produce for money's sake, just to sustain your body. You produce enough. So everybody, 7 billion people should have a farm. Each person has at least quarter of an acre. We don't need more than that. So here is the quote. In my opinion, if 100% of the people were farming, it would be ideal if each person were given 1/4 acre. That is 1.25 acres to a family of 5. That would be more than enough land to support the family for the whole year. If natural farming were practiced, a farmer would also have plenty of time for leisure and social activities within the village community. I think this is the most direct path toward making this country and this world a happy, pleasant land. Beautiful quote. The another small quote, I'm going to read it for you, in which it says, if you love Mother Nature is going to love you. If you throw out her through the window or out of the window, I think she is going to come back and haunt you for rest of your life. She is going to take revenge on you. So here is the quote. If we throw Mother Nature out the window, she comes back in the door with the pitchfork. What is a pitchfork? That's a devil. You must have seen those pitchfork, no? The devil with the two horns and with the trident, the three pitchfork. So this is the devil picture you would have seen. So that's what Fukuoka is saying. It's very funny, at the same time packed with plenty of deep insight. If we throw Mother Nature out the window, she comes back in the door with the pitchfork. That is, even Pope Francis also quotes in a similar way. He writes that if you destroy nature, nature will destroy you. Anyway, Masanobu Fukuoka, he did not plow his fields at all, used no agricultural chemicals or prepare fertilizers, did not flood his rice fields as farmers have done in Asia for centuries, and yet his yields equaled or surpassed the most productive farms in Japan. In 1974, as I already told you, he wrote The One Straw Revolution. That is the famous book, The One Straw Revolution. The One Straw Revolution. Best-selling book that described his life's journey, his philosophy and farming techniques. This book has been translated into more than 25 languages and has helped make Mr. Fukuoka a leader in the worldwide sustainable agriculture movement. He continued farming until shortly before his death in 2008 at the age of 95. His interest turned to rehabilitating most of the time, turning deserts into forest. So today, most of our land's surface facing desertification, especially India all of India faces desertification. So I think we can learn from Mr. Masanobu Fukuoka how to turn deserts into savannas or tropical rainforest. So Fukuoka very much interested turning the forest into tropical rainforest using his natural farming techniques. This work is described in detail in Sowing Seeds in the Desert, which he wrote in 2012. So please go to Google and download Masanobu Fukuoka quotes and also book The One Straw Revolution and read it for yourself. I hope you will turn India into a blooming savanna. So India is facing desertification. Let us reverse the process of desertification and let us bring to the process of savanna and a tropical rainforest. Thank you. Have a nice day.